I shot half of Carlos. It was the 7.5 film I was doing with Olivier. So I know Olivier quite well and for many years. What is unique for me about him is the way he films, really. Years ago, I'm talking agency reasons, people started to work more, some kind of master close-up thing, which is the death of cinema, of course. And a way to get that efficiency without going to master close-up is to develop a long, complicated shot. So back to Olivier. For a given scene, he's going to shoot a shot which will go from the beginning of the scene to the end. And then he's going to shoot another one which will be complementary.
Who do you think I am? Huh? What kind of...
At any time, you can cut from one shot to another because it matches.
Do you know that name?
But also, even you don't have to cut because you can stay on the actor being silent when the other one is talking.
And in Berlin, and in Moscow, and in every movement fighting capitalism, imperialism around the world. Do you understand?
The inserts, it's almost always filmed as part of the shot, which is I am on your face, and then now I go down on your paper. And it's fun for the operator also because you're thinking, oh, how much time do I stay on the paper? And then eventually at the editing room, this will be cut as an insert, or it will be with only the go down to the paper or up to the face. It is total freedom and liberty for the director in the editing room. And at the same time, it's creative and fun to shoot.
Don't you trust us? Open it. Colonel promised you how much? $200,000?
I didn't really prepare Carlos, Yorick Le Sceau, who was in Paris with Olivier. He was given the movie by Olivier. I shot half of it, but I'm second. No one knows exactly what is going to be the image of the film. We are all discover it in the first week. A big share of my work is actually the location where I'm filming. You have the actors, the wardrobe, you have the way you film them, and you have the economy of the movie, the pace. You don't shoot the same film if you're shooting it in 3 weeks or in 3 months. I mean, what I'm saying is that no one is responsible, but at the same time, everyone is responsible. And at the end, you have this look. We are 2.4 widescreen. We are 2perf on film. We are moving fast, so we don't have time to be fussy as the DPs. We have to let the exterior blow out because we're not going to build the light inside to compensate. And 35 2perf is the old Techniscope format, which is what is used by Italian spaghetti western in the 70s. A normal 35 frame is 4perf, so it's a piece of film like that, a little smaller than that, but this. And we take only this, and the film moves only 2perf at a time. So actually, it lasts twice the time. You buy half the amount of film. You develop half the amount of film. Huge saving. I joined them in Germany. I spent one day as Yorick was filming to say hello to the crew and chat a little with him. And I was thinking, as always, like when I'm not filming before the first day on the shoot, which is, am I going to be able? Wow, they're doing that. I'm not sure I would be able to do that. That seems to be extremely difficult. And how does he get the idea to put this light here? Wow, that's so smart. Something I learned from the crew itself, saying, oh, Yorick, he was always putting some practical light on behind the actors. And I'm thinking, oh, that's a cool idea. Up to a point, when I was filming, there was no practical behind the actors, or not in a systematical way. And then I was told by the crew, and I put that too. We didn't talk much about theory. We talk about equipment, lenses, filters. Olivier comes in the morning with a shot list. And the shot list is at the same time extremely precise in the sense that we know we're going to film the shot list. We're not going to film something else. We don't shoot at random. There's a kind of blocking, the scene with the actors, and he's also very precise with them. They don't have much liberty.
That's what I was told.
I hear you're starting your own group.
Maybe.
If Wadia is no longer around, they'll turn to you.
Why? I'm not an Arab.
Olivier has a very strong eye. He knows about blocking, framing, constructing, moving. He knows exactly what he wants. So there's no point trying to go too far in a direction which is not exactly what he wants. You have to make your own decision as an operator all the time, which is, do I stay here? Do I go there? You're thinking all the time as you're doing it. And then when it's done, I turn to Olivier, say, was it the right shot? Should I do something else? Especially this kind of timing thing, when you pan, at what speed should you pan with your camera? And all operators of the world tend to pan too fast because they're thinking nothing is happening in the frame. It's hard to appreciate the pace or how fast you move to something else. Olivier read a lot, studied a lot. There's an incredible homework. For instance, the OPEC, it was extremely close to the original OPEC offices, which was built on stage. François Renaud-Labarthe, who is the production designer with Olivier since day one, and he's an essential collaborator to Olivier. Reading the different testimonies, trying to reconstruct in what room they were, so actually what we're seeing in the OPEC is probably extremely close to the history.
You know that at the end of the day, we're just pawns in the games of history, aren't we? Me, I'm a soldier.
I'm fascinated when I watch Carlos by the way Olivier has filmed violence, because it's so different from what we are used to see on screen.
Everybody down! Go! Get down!
The violence in Carlos it's like non-choreographed. It's a surprise in some way, probably like it is in life. The crazy German woman, terrorist, she suddenly shot a guy, and you don't see it coming.
Drehen Sie sich um. Sind Sie Polizist?
Ja, ich bin Polizeibeamter.
Umdrehen.
Using a gun immediately without threatening, without going to the eye, going to this, going to that, without setting up. Normally we set up the violence to have some kind of payoff afterwards. And here the payoff is because it's not set up at all. It just comes in your face like that. Olivier was respectful in doing so of the way it had happened. And I remember him saying, oh, it happened like that because that's the only way it could happen. The handheld is motivated sometimes because of the nature of the scene, because that's probably the only way to have a camera flexible enough. If I am standing on my feet and handheld, I don't even think about what I'm doing. I'm just moving in and out and sideways. I'm reacting immediately to what is developing in front of me in my viewfinder. On the dolly, it can't be like that. Also, Yorick and myself, we are quite good at handheld. And when I say we are good at the same time not to be too shaky. The steadiness of the frame is a matter of will, and that's it. You have to think all the time about, I'm not moving, oh. For the first time in my life, I used quite a lot on this film, Carlos, a Swedish rig called the Easy Rig. It's like a backpack with a kind of pole with some kind of spring, and you hang the camera there. It's great for a long fixed shot, which is long fixed shot being the nightmare of the handheld operating, because suddenly, after a while, you start shaking and all. So the Easy Rig is good for that.
Happy birthday. Thank you. Welcome. Hey, how are you? Thank you.
Olivier is always looking for something, which look very loose, but it's actually always controlled and crisp. When I think of Yorick's work, and I mean work, He shot like almost 3 hours of this film. But there's one scene which really kills me, is the Rue Touvier murders, because they are murders actually. I mean, the tension, how it is built, and how it is filmed by Yorick. It's a very long, intricate scene. What is happening between the minor characters and Carlos, who doesn't know who he's going to do in the 5 minutes later in some way. He's improvising totally. I mean, it's a room probably not much bigger than this one. This amount of characters in the room, eye lines, and how do you move the camera between the different characters, the light, how do you light all these guys without having horrible shadows? It is just amazing. This is a masterpiece. I have a kind of perverse pleasure to see that no one can tell who shot what.
I still have the chance to get letters from my daughter. But here, I don't even have news of her, you know?
It's a little like pied de nez. This is a pied de nez to my colleagues, because my theory is that it's the director who is doing the image of the movie, not the DP. I mean, yes, of course, the DP. But, you know, an actor, even a good actor, can be terrible if he's not well directed. And it's the same thing with DPs. A good DP, left alone, is going to become lazy or to try to be interesting and to do a little too much. And we all need, or I need, a director to direct me.
Lips growing for service, eyes steady for healing. Bring on the special guest, a monkey god stealing.